Hi guys, welcome back to my scrap space. It's Shauna, and today I have a fun holiday project I'd like to share with you guys. Doesn't use many materials, and it's perfect for a year like 2020 where many people might not be able to get together for the holidays, but they still want to send some Christmas cheer to their family members. So what I have here is a file folder that I've turned into an advent calendar, and this is easily sent in the mail or given in person, whichever you can do. The only thing I haven't done to this one here is add some way to hang it up. So I was thinking of just punching some holes in the back and adding some ribbon, but we'll get to that. So the things you're going to need for this project is one file folder, and I forgot to measure what size my file folder is. It's just one of the standard ones that you get at an office supply store. Let's see. So it is 11.5 inches by 9 inches without the tab. So 11.5 by 9 inches. I'm going to write that here on my list of measurements. $11.5 by 9 inches. Okay, so you'll need that file folder. It doesn't matter where your tab is, so whatever one you have is great. And then you need a 25 coin envelopes. You could do this with tags if you didn't want to put in a gift. So if you just have some little tags around, that would work as well. I've used the envelopes as the little days with something to open. So these envelopes are 4 1/4 this way, 4 1/4 by 2.5 if you're making your own. Otherwise, these were just purchased. I think I got them at a thrift store even in bulk, and I have an abundance of them. So as you can see here, I've used 25, one for each day of December. And that's what we'll do as I'll walk you through this project. Then you also need a 12 by 12 piece of paper to decorate the back of the file folder. And then some decorative paper, if you have one. One with these strips works really great. Let me show you here. So I've got a background, and then I've got one with some cute little strips. These were from a Die Cuts with the View stack that I've got. I am desperately trying to use up some of the paper that I have on hand. And then in another stack, I found a lot of these great numbers. Now you can use stickers, you could use stamps, you could marker it on, you could paint it on, any way that you find that you can represent the numbers on your days. And as you're planning this out, I didn't really plan it all that much, but if you wanted to do like 2 special days or 1 special day each week, these envelopes do fit a gift card. So you could put a gift card in there. I was thinking, I think I have 3 of them in here for gift cards. But you could also do photos with a special holiday memory on each day, an inspirational quote or saying on each day. I haven't put anything in mine yet because I haven't decided what I want to do. I was kind of thinking like some kind of holiday memory would be really fun, and then as they open them up each day, they'll get a piece of the past as well. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so and then you also need, I've used some brads here on the sides. I think for this next one that I'm making, I'm going to use some eyelets. You really don't have to. The glue kind of holds it together. That's another thing you need is your glue of choice. I'm going to use a liquid glue like a Fabri-Tac, just because it's multi-purpose and I think it'll be great. Ink if you want it. I did ink some of these edges, and you can always embellish these envelopes as well as much as you'd like to, and that will be fun. Stamps or whatever you like to decorate with, and maybe some kind of ribbon to hang it up. But this is the back. This is literally just the file folder, and let's get started. So the first thing that I did was cut this file folder. So we'll just set these things aside. And actually, let me pull off these envelopes so you can see what the back looks like here. Now with these envelopes, again, like I said, you could do tags if you're just going to do some kind of a quote, or even with a picture or something on there. You could also glue little clothespins on the back to hold these. I'm okay with just the little ridge that we're going to create here, and that seems to hold everything and work okay just fine. You could also use some glitter glue, or like some glitter tape, or whatever you want to decorate with. If you've got holiday stickers or holiday fun stuff, just if you want to use paper, any of it will work. And if you didn't have a file folder, you could use like the backs of a cereal box or something like that and just cut it to the size. That would totally work as well. Okay. And then on this last one, I put it this way, and you could decorate like Merry Christmas or something right there. You could go over these numbers with some glittery fun stuff. You could emboss, you could stamp, all kinds of possibilities. Okay, so this is what our base looks like. And these are just like little shelves. And it all comes from one file folder. So let's get started. We'll set this stuff aside and get going here. So the first thing you're going to need is your file folder, and then we're going to open it up and take a peek here. So these come with natural folds at the bottom, these little ridges, and I put mine on the last one. Down here, and fold it across, just kind of burnish it like this. So then we have, mine has 3 that I didn't use in the back, and I folded on that last one. And then we're gonna cut the file folder strips. The strips are 1 3/4 of an inch, I think. So this one isn't actually a strip. You're gonna leave this one on here. This is just the end, and when we cut this off, it makes one of the strips and it keeps it attached. So let's do that first. So your file folder will just fit right down in here. And just like so. And I always hate to measure, so since I already have this one here, I am just going to eyeball it, but it is 1 3/4 of an inch. From that folded edge down here. And make sure you've got it in your paper trimmer nice and straight. Good to go. Okay. So it's gonna be just like this. And that makes our first wedge. And don't worry about this printed on the file folder. We're gonna cover that and you won't see it anyways. Okay, then we just need to cut 1, 2, 3, 4 strips out of what's left here. I'm not sure, I think my measurements may be off because that does not look like 1 3/4 of an inch. No, it's 3/4 of an inch. So not 1 3/4, just 3/4 of an inch. Sorry about that. If you're following along, it is just 3/4 of an inch. And you need 4 of them. Okay. So we'll keep cutting. And I like to put the tab on the outside and just cut with this straight edge here. Again, make sure everything is nice and straight. flush to the bottom of your trimmer. No, I was right the first time. It's 1 3/4 of an inch because you have to fold it. Boy, sorry guys, I am not on my game today. So it needs to be longer because you need to fold it to make the ledge. Yeah, so it needs to be 1 3/4 of an inch. All right. Now that we got that part, this is the hardest part, is just setting it up. Once you've got that, it will be good to go. So we need to cut some more. Okay. And I messed up because I cut this one, so mine's not going to have enough to do 4, so I'm going to have to come up with another piece from another file folder, but no worries, I do have another file folder. Okay, so while you have these, then we want to score these strips at 1/2 inch. Handy dandy scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can do it with a ruler, you can do it with your trimmer. Most of the trimmers have a scoring function as well. This, you could even just fold it yourself. This piece is to give you the folded ledge, the backing to make the little ledge here. This one, because I got to the edge here, it is going to, this little piece down here at the bottom is totally okay. That doesn't measure up because the fold line is right there and no one's gonna see it anyways, just on the back. So it will fold out just fine. So then you fold on your crease lines. You can burnish them with your bone folder. You do want to have a good crease so that it will hold everything nice and tight in there. You will have 4 of these. I'm going to have to make one up here eventually. And we're done with the scoreboard and the scoring. Okay, so we'll just let this one be my extra strip. You should have 4 strips of folded edge here and ready to move on. So what we're gonna do now is put our backing paper on, and I'm gonna use this pretty green. This is just one sheet of 12 by 12 paper. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off my little white strip up there. probably don't need to because I think it's a little bigger, but we're gonna do it anyways. Okay, and so this will just fit like this. And we want this folded edge down here to be folded on our one mark there. And then we will go ahead and glue. And I might cut this decorative strip off and use it. So this paper is a little bit too long anyways. So depending on what paper you choose, definitely look at all of your options as far as which direction you want to put your pattern, and if there's any pieces you want showing or not showing. If you want to lessen the bulk because it has to maybe go through the mail, you can trim off the excess that's not going to be seen. Or like this little decorative strip, I think I might want to use on something else. So we will, or even use it to decorate here. So we'll go ahead and glue this in. The way I like to do it is I glue the paper to the file folder, then I turn it over and I trim around. I glue the straight edge to the straight edge for a little less cutting, and then I will glue it down and trim around. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, glue is such a maker preferential item. Feel free to use whatever you are comfortable using. I used to strictly be glue stick and double-sided tape, and if that's you, that's totally fine. I have since broadened my horizons to this liquid glue, and I do like it a lot. And there's so many different types of adhesive on the market. It really is one of those preferential things. You can do so many different types of glue. For this project, I do like having a liquid glue because I can move the paper a little bit as I need to. Now be careful when you're sticking this down, because especially if you did use some liquid glue, because it might be seeping out of the sides here, and we don't want to glue this little shelf, as I'm going to call it, down to the paper. We want it to be like a little pocket or a shelf to hold all of our little cards. So be aware of that. And then we can press this all down. So I've got straight edge over here, and then we'll go ahead and scissor around. Now, another thing that you need to scissor out is if you're using the numbers like I am using, they come on a full page sheet like this. So we'll need to cut all of those out. So I'm going to go ahead and put that to a little bit of some fast speed, and you guys won't have to suffer through while I trim every single piece out. Okay, so once you have everything cut out as far as your pieces go, the next step is to figure out what you want to cover your little strips with. And I like to use these sheets of pattern paper that come with the little stripes. And this one is just about the perfect size, I think, too. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some of these out. In total, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. really like this vintage looking Santa one, these red ones, the snowman one. So we'll just start cutting these out, see what we can use. And then I saved that other one from the bottom of my paper as well. Wow, that didn't cut very straight. Sorry guys, I'm learning. My favorite trimmer is just not so great with these new vision parameters that I'm working with. So sometimes I have to cut things twice or hand cut some of the little edges off. But I'm learning to make it work, so we'll just go with that. I don't know if I'm going to use either of those. I do like this little snowman though. It's kind of cute. I think what's so fun about these is that if you have pieces of 12 by 12 paper that you don't want to cut up, this is perfect for that. You don't get to see the entire paper because you do have these strips, but it is so pretty on there. And once they start taking the little envelopes out, as the days go by, they'll get to see more and more of that beautiful paper, unless if they just leave the envelopes in there. So on my other one, I alternated between stripes and this pattern. So I just kind of used two. But you can do it however you see fit. These would be fun to make for someone's like birthday month, or if you did some kind of Happy Mail swap where you needed to do like a little memento or gift for each day of a month. This would be really fun. My kiddos always liked doing the advent calendars when they were little. This one I'm not going to cut out because I have one very similar already cut out. So we'll see what the contenders are here. And these are all going to get glued either to your tags or envelopes, whichever you choose to use. Let's see what looks good at the bottom here. I almost kind of like the idea of these little snowmen at the bottom. They're kind of cute. You could also decorate these strips with some ribbon if you didn't want to use pattern paper. And these guys, I think I'm just going to put some, looks like I still cut it kind of wonky. I'm going to use some Yoo-Hoo glue stick to glue this down. What did I do? Not totally sure, but a good trick is to make up the difference is to use some ink around the edges. That has totally been my go-to, since I am not a very straight cutter lately. But if you had some ribbon that had some cute designs or sayings on it, that would be really great to use here too. I think I'm just going to glue it down like this, and I'm going to ink the edges. And we'll call it good. I really like those little snowmen down there. You could always push this to the bottom and trim off the top too if you don't need it. You just need enough of this ledge to hold your envelopes. So really they don't all have to be the exact same size or matching either. Again, it's just literally a shelf to hold these little envelopes. All right, so there's our first one. And that one was already attached to the file folder, so we don't have to do anything there. This one is still quite a bit bigger than that one. So you guys will just have to play. My other file folder was probably a different size when I made my prototype. So you guys will just kind of have to play with what file folders that you have. Again, like I said, they don't have to be the same size. You can make them be whatever size you want. I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these red ones now. So what I'm probably going to do is glue this on and then I'll cut it off to match. And then we'll ink around these edges with some gold, I think. I'm sorry, you guys, I'm not a huge measury person. I kind of like to eyeball it and just make it work. Kind of see this has like some little chevrons in the background. Look like they might be a little bit of some gold. Now using this Yoo-hoo glue stick, I'm still able to kind of move and manipulate my papers around, which I really like. It's like it's set, but not totally in stone until I'm ready for it to be. Got some little ridges there. There we go. And we'll cut this off, and then, like I said, we'll just go ahead and you could put some ribbon trim, some lace if you wanted to. Could also use some decorative scissors and make the edges, or a decorative punch. Make the edges a little more fun and decorated. Okay, so now I want to do a green one. These colors are just so fun. Very traditional Christmas colors, but like I said, you could do this for other themes as well. It would be a really fun way to do like a month of little happy mails all mailed at once. So if you are not a Christmas or a holiday crafter, you could still totally enjoy this project. Now this one goes in the center, so you could leave this one a little bit bigger if you wanted to. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it down. go. There's our third strip there. Now into another red one. So I think this is going to be my last red one. I want to make sure I use these cute little Santas, so go ahead and put that on there. Those vintage Santas are just so cute. All right, and so there will be one more of them. We'll just let this one be a little place marker for it. Now, if you want to ink, now is the best time to do that before you glue it on. It'll be a little less awkward. So I'm going to use some gold ink here and just ink the edges. And really, this doesn't show up a whole lot, but I like that it kind of hides any cutting imperfections. So the next part that we'll be doing is to glue these little shells in place. And what I did was I put the ruler up here and just kind of decided how far apart I wanted them. Obviously, more space apart is great because it gives you more room for your envelopes, but we're only working with a total of 9 inches across the board, so that does kind of limit things a little bit. But even being just this far spaced apart on my other one here, you can see that I was able to still get all of the envelopes in there. And it worked out perfect. I love little gifts like these because it's so much fun and it doesn't use a lot of materials, but you know, if you put some little holiday memories or quotes or something fun in there, it'll be such a great gift, especially if you're not able to be together. Now is also a good time if you want to put some little decorations on these, if you want to stamp on them, or if you, this one's attached to the base of the file folder, so better to just ink it now before we attach and put anything in there. But if you wanted to add, like on this one, I added a little decorative strip that just said Merry and Bright across the bottom. If you want to stamp or add stickers, ribbon, rickrack, lace, whatever it is you have, if you want to do decorative scissors, all of that, it's easier right now while it's kind of deconstructed. Okay. Get a little heavier with the ink here, got some extra room. I think that looks great. Okay, so there it is. When I glued mine down, I used some double-sided sticky tape, and then I still ran a little bit of some liquid glue. So you can see what I did on the first one here. I put these at 1.75, 3.75, 5 inches, and 7 inches. So I just sat my ruler here and kind of put a mark where I thought it would be good if these were there, trying to evenly space them apart. Again, you can get as technical as you want with these. I'll show you these measurements one more time in case if you want to screenshot it and see if that's how it works out for your file folder. It might be different for your file folder based on the size that you started with or the size that you cut your pieces at. You just want to make sure that you have enough room in between to put your little cards. And it doesn't have to be a lot of room because the little envelope card things aren't that big. Wow, that one just broke. So they just need to go like this. And you can see they do kind of overlap just a little bit, and that's okay. This one, you don't have to glue, unless if you don't plan to put any embellishments on the side. I did not glue my sides because I put brads in. And on this one, I think I'm going to put in eyelets. So I won't be gluing the sides. If you're not doing those metal embellishments, you will need to secure the sides, otherwise your little envelopes will fall out. If you think it's going to be in one single place and it's not going to be a problem, then you can feel free to leave it open. Okay, so I've got my double-sided sticky tape in here. Then I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue. Excuse my reach here. Down. Not a lot because I don't want it squishing out everywhere. Bring this a little closer. If you plan to mass produce these, do your measurements once and then you can just line them up like this. I'm planning to make 2 or 3 of these, so I could totally just try and get them all mass produced and good to go. I think the hardest part is deciding what to put inside the envelopes. Measurement and cutting aside, but you can also do something fun. I had this little piece of ephemera that says Merry Christmas, and you could put it like down here. So once the envelopes are removed, they could see it, or you could figure out a way to put it at the top. However, there's so many different ways you could finish this project off and decorate it up. It's just like any other paper craft. You can totally make it your own. However you like. I noticed when I was cutting and covering this file folder with the background paper, I really loved how the paper lined up here. Let's see if you can see it. There we go. Up here I got a piece of this line that was there, so it made it like a little different pattern, which I thought was really cute and fun. Okay, so you want to try and make sure these are as straight as you can get them. Again, it's a handmade piece, so the fun little imperfections that you might have are super cute. I think this project is simple enough that little kids could have fun doing them too. I know this would have been a really fun 4-H project. Ooh, out of tape there. We were always looking for really cute projects in 4-H that the kids could do. And ones that they wouldn't be bored of and that their families wouldn't be bored receiving. It's kind of nice to receive something fun and new. Okay. When I have a little bit of extra sticky tape at the end like there is on this one, I'll just fold it over because it's double-sided, so we'll just keep that stickiness hanging out in there where it's supposed to go. Alright, add a little bit of this glue. And then put these cute little Santas on here. Now, if you have a decorative paper like the one that I have on the background here, you could totally use that to do your spacing as well. You could count how many of these little diamonds are in between each one and do it that way. That would work too. Okay, so now that those are on there, next couple of things we need to do is you can, while this is drying, you can work on the envelopes because we need to put the numbers on the envelopes. And then what I did on the back, some of these I just folded them down because you're not going to want them hanging out like this over, it will cover over everything. So I just folded it down like this. You could seal them with a little sticker once you put your item inside. Again, your item can be something simple as my favorite memory with you on the holidays are, or a cute little picture, a fun quote. Anything goes. Just something to make people smile. Okay, and you know you've got these in the right positions apart. If your envelopes will fit in here, however they will go. And it's okay for these envelopes to overlap a little bit. In making the strips, by having 5 strips like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that puts just 5 envelopes in each row, which I thought was plenty. But you could totally arrange it however you thought best. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some eyelets on the side here. I think. What did I do with them? There we go. So on these ones, you might do red on the green, green on the red, or you can do all one color. I just kind of alternated the brads on this first one here, red, green, red, green. You could do all gold, all silver, all white, whatever goes with your paper and your preference. I'm using my handy dandy crocodile, and if you set the little piece here to where you want the eyelet to go against your paper, it'll be in the same spot on each one. I want it to be a little shorter. I like it to be right at the edge. So there's the edge. I've got my little black positioner in place, and I'm just going to crimp a hole. And you can see it is literally right on the edge there. Go ahead and make sure that this is the small eyelet setting. And I think I'm going to alternate red, green, so we'll just do that. Place that in there. And crimp it down. All right, so we're gonna do that on all of these. Whoops. So if you lose your position with your thing, you can just line it back up. Put this here. There also is some measurements on the side of the crocodile too, so you can see right where you had it positioned. Hold this guy down here. Now by putting eyelets in here, that allows us to hang some ribbon or some tinsel or some charms, whatever you want to do, or just leave it like that. It's really cute. Just provides some extra stability and support to these little shelves. Everything is lining up. Had my eyes dilated today, you guys, and it's not helping, but I'm working through it. Sadly, no good news from the eye doctor, but again, like I said, I'm just doing the best I can with what I've got here. Seems to be doing okay for most things. All right, and on this side, we'll put in our punches. Now, if you are one that really wants to measure and make sure they're directly in the center, feel free to do that. I always just kind of just do it. And now you can make them alternate. So this one's red, this one could be green, or you can make them the same. I think I'm just gonna go with the same. Again, so many choices and variations that you could do. And that one kind of took up the whole snowman's face. I don't know that that was really intentional, poor snowman, but we could always put him back in as a decoration on the envelope that goes inside there. All right, I'm gonna finish these up and we'll be back to finish up the project together. All right, you guys, so I put my other strip up here. We've got our eyelets in, and I did take some ink and go around the edges here, but you don't have to do the ink. So all we've got left to do now is our envelopes and gluing these numbers on. I'm going to be gluing. Again, you can decorate these envelopes if you want to. You can use tags if you want to. You could stamp your numbers on or use some stickers. However you have numbers, you can print them on your printer. Just cut them up, put them on here. So that's the part that we have left. The fun part is after that, deciding what you're going to put in your envelopes. And then we have this great fun advent calendar all ready to start for December 1st. So let's go ahead and get gluing all of these numbers on, and we'll stick our envelopes in as we go. All right, you guys, now that we've got all the envelopes with their numbers, you can decide what you want to put in them. If you're sending it to a paper crafter or a junk journaler, maybe put some different snippets or some little word phrases, some stickers. You could put some little flat candies, or you could do something totally different. Like if it's to a relative that lives far away and you want to enjoy the holidays together, maybe in the first envelope you put a little tag that says, text me your favorite holiday song, or text me a photo of your favorite holiday cookie, or text me something that you are doing today. Doesn't even have to be text me. It could just be, my favorite holiday memory of you is this, and maybe you put a picture in there. So the possibilities with these is really endless. You can do just about anything. Up here, I think I might punch a brad here, or a hole for an eyelet here and here, and run some ribbon just to hang it up. So that they have some way to hang it up. You could also do like a little binder clip here, and then it would hang up somewhere very easily. So I hope you guys have enjoyed making this fun advent calendar out of a file folder and some paper. If you make one, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know some of the things you would like to put in them, or some of the things that you would like to receive in them. Maybe somebody's watching and they'll make one for you. However you do it, I hope you guys enjoy the month of December, doing your December dailies. This might even be a fun way to do the December daily. You could put a little snippet of something that you did in there on each day. Instead of doing an album, you could do it Advent style. So just some thoughts. Let me know how you guys do it. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, like, and share if you know somebody else who might want to make it. And I'll see you guys in the next great video. Thanks so much for watching.